Welcome back to the Global Builder's Guide, episode 14. I'm Ignace, and today we're finishing the roof on the Cradle of Power. In the last episode, we got half of it in place, which is pretty good considering how large it is. And now it's just a matter of duplicating that half and then taking a look at the whole thing and saying what's working. Do we need to change anything? So you can see basically what I'm doing is just transferring over the outer edge of each oval or half oval on the other side. I find it so much easier to do it this way, just working with the edges of the different shapes. And then once we've got those in place, it's, brain on autopilot mode, just filling them in. So much easier than counting individual rows of blocks and transferring them over and then moving over a row and doing another one and another one. It goes in fairly quickly once a person gets into the rhythm, kind of making sure that we're not rushing, because I do that from time to time. I'm not a notorious rusher, but you will see in my builds no shortage of mistakes on account of just that little brief lapse of judgment, not double checking, and then all of a sudden I've got to go back and figure out what I did wrong and fix it because things don't line up. And I'm just saying that for those of you who do the same thing so that, we can have a little bit of unity, brothers and sisters in our shame. But for the most part, we get things done. And you can see it's filling in rather nicely, and it's not really taking all that long. So once this is done, again, I'm working basically with quarters. We've got 2 quarters on the other side done. We're just about finished with this quarter here. And then we flop over to the other side. We'll do that other quarter. Once it's done, all we have left to do is stop and think about the final sort of shape. And the only way to do that really is to kind of get back and take a look at it. Very tough to do when building. Much easier to do when you can fly, I have to say. I've mentioned this before because I see comments from people sometimes. It's almost as though they resent the idea of being able to fly in survival. I don't. I find it tremendously useful and almost a necessity now. It's sort of one of those things you get used to it, and then the idea of going back to doing it the old way is so unappealing that if you couldn't fly, you may not build things like this anymore. It's just one of those things. As long as I can fly, I'm good. If they take away my survival mode flight, I might have to start doing all of my building in creative just because. So now it's always nighttime. For some reason, it always feels like there's more nighttime than day, and there's more rain than sun. Even though that's not the case. See, there we go with the damn rain. It's just one of those things. So we're going to finish off this other side, and then we're going to, like I say, step back and take a look and see where we're at. Now this is something that I've been planning on doing from the very beginning, and it doesn't look like much. We're just trimming the edges off so that they're flat on the short side. And the result of doing that gives it that sort of falling blanket look. And you'll get a better look at it when we do the final flyby, but that was a very, very minor thing that I did. I wanted to just kind of focus on the curves, make the roof look as good as I could possibly get it, and then come back and just a little bit of trimming off the edge, I think, made quite a difference. And the other change that I found myself feeling was absolutely necessary was fixing this top central section. It just didn't fit. It was oriented the wrong way, the way the ovals were, and the spacing was not appropriate, and it looked like there was kind of a bulge in the middle that just didn't fit with the rest of the design. So the idea was to knock it down a level and flip the orientation of the oval the other way so that it looked a little bit more smooth and a little bit more like the shape that I was ultimately going for. And I didn't mind doing that. It wasn't about height. I don't mind knocking off a layer if it's going to improve the overall look of the project. But it was another one of those things where it wasn't really a time-consuming or difficult change to make, but I think it made a pretty huge difference. And that's basically it. We cut off the edges, we fix the top, we clear up all of our extra measurement blocks, and then we can stop and take a look at it from the big picture point of view, and the roof is done. The next episode, we're going to start on the walls. That one's going to be easily 2 or 3 episodes to get the walls done. You'll see why it's called the Cradle of Power, and we should have a pretty snazzy looking structure to enjoy. So if you're enjoying this series, by all means, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on the Twitters at Enigmius1. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.